Welcome to Economics, Grade 10 and Grade 12, Business Cycles. Based on examination guideline, we'll be doing the meaning and the diagram. What is business cycle? Business cycle. It is an indication of fluctuation in economic activities. Very important word is this one, fluctuations. To fluctuate, it means that to go up and down, go up and down. It's like a roller coaster, going up and down, going up and down. These are periods of increase and decrease, increase and decrease. In this way, we can say this period that is going up, which is increasing the economic activities, we call it expansion. Expansion. And then the one going down, this one going up, the one going down, we call it a contraction. So this one is going down. So expansion when the economy is expanding. Contraction when the economy is getting smaller. Now, let's do the diagram. The diagram will look like this. Remember always, you must always label your diagram. On the x-axis, we have time or period. On the y-axis, we have economic activities. We have economic activities. Now, the other thing that is very important to do whenever you draw a diagram or a graph is to name it. What is it? In our case, business cycle. Now, in a business cycle, we need to have the roller coaster, which is like this, showing the periods of expansion and the period of contractions. In other words, we can say these are upswing. That means they are swinging up, or we can say they are swinging down. Remember, swinging up, upswing means the economy is positive, the economy is growing. Downswing, it means that the economy is negative and the economy is not growing, it is rather decreasing. Very important feature that we have to add. We have this feature. This feature is very important, and we call this feature a trend line. Trend line, this feature. Trend line, this line is called trend line. Now, the trend line is very important because it shows us the direction where the economy is going. As you can see, the economy was here. It moved up. It is going up. So in a way, if we could have written the time or the periods or the years here, it will show us that from 0 period, it has grown until this far. Now, let's do the phases. I would like to start the phases with this phase called prosperity. Prosperity. Prosperity, it is a period of expansion. Remember, expansion, it is a period where the economy is expanding. The economy is expanding. So, expansion. The economy is expanding. The economy is going up. Going up. The economy is going up. The economy is growing. And we have a turning point here called peak. It is called the peak. The peak is the highest turning point in a business cycle. It is like you are in a mountain. Therefore, when you are at the highest point geographically, you have to go down. Just like the economy. When the economy has reached this point, the economy will have to go down. Why did it reach this point? It's because there are certain aspects that are very important that took place. The economy was doing well in different aspects. Let's explain them. In GDP has increased during expansion. In expansion, we also see employment going up. We also see income and spending and prices. They all go up. All of these go up. So, GDP, which is production, production takes place during expansion. Many people will be employed because there must be production that takes place. There must be income because people are working. Therefore, they must receive income, more income. Spend. People will spend money because they are receiving more income. And prices will also go up because the economy is doing well. Now, we continue with the peak. Now, I assume this is more like Christmas. So after Christmas, the economy will go to January and February. Now, the economy now is going to reach the peak. And when it's at its peak, the economy is so well. Most people can afford to buy what they wish to buy. Now the economy will go down. Now when the economy goes down, when it goes down, we see, remember that word? It is on contraction. It starts to contract. That means it starts to become small. When it starts to become small, the first phase, it will be a recession. A recession will happen after a decrease in economic activity for 2 quarters. These quarters must be consecutive. It means that they must follow each other. First quarter and second quarter can be second quarter and third quarter, can be fourth quarter and first quarter. But the quarters must follow each other. They must be consecutive for us to say we have reached a recession. So that's a meaning for recession. A recession, it's a period where the economy experiences a consecutive 2 quarters in economic decline. Now, after recession, we reach depression. Depression. Now, in a depression, all these are down extremely. But in a recession, all these, you repeat the same things when you explain. GDP here start to decline, employment start to decline, income start to decline, spending start to decline, prices start to decline. But in depression now, they're extremely declining because less production is taking place now. More people are being laid off. That means they lose their jobs. Income is declining extremely because people are not working. Expenditure, spending are not, people are not spending as much, and prices also is the same. Now, after depression, which is the economy is so depressed, like the economy is walking, looking down. Nothing is nice in the economy. Now, it reaches what we called the second a turning point, which is trial. A trial is where most businesses are closed, which is very bad for the economy. The economy has gone down, inflation is very high. Now, after the trial, we go to what we called a recovery. Recovery is when the economy is recovering. These aspects now, they start to increase. Not extremely, but they start to increase. GDP start to increase, employment start to increase, and income, spending, and prices. Now, we go to the second phase, which is prosperity. Prosperity, it is a point now, or a phase where these are extreme. GDP is growing very fast. Employment, income, spending, and prices are going very fast. They are growing. Now, again, we reach a peak. The same takes place, recession and depression. And depression takes place. One thing that I wish learners to note is this part. It is a period between prosperity and recession, together with a peak. This we call a boom. So some learners, they confuse boom and prosperity. They are different. Prosperity is the whole phase from here to here, but boom is just this part. Now, the other thing that is very important, how do we measure a business cycle? We measure it from peak to peak, or we can measure it. Let's assume that here we had a turning point. Let's assume we had a trial here. So we'll measure it from trial to trial. That's a measure. And then the other feature, very important, the amplitude. Amplitude. This is an amplitude. Amplitude. An amplitude, it is the distance between the trend line, which is this line, and the peak, or the trend line and the trial. Not trial to peak. Very wrong. It's peak to trend line to trial. That's how we see the amplitude. Measuring, we measure it from peak to peak, trial to trial. We want to see the full length of a business cycle like this. Thank you.